Hey, gentlemen, how y'all doing? How y'all doing? How y'all doing?
We're good, we're good, we're good, we're good. What's up? What's up?
Good evening once again, and welcome to another episode of Caribbean Feedback.
Feedback.
Sam, you seem to be the episode counter, so where we are today?
Episode 11, man. 11.
You had to hold up a toe. You run out of fingers.
I have a pen in my hand.
All right. Episode number 11. This is just a testament of when you believe in something, you have to get up and get it going. You got to start where you are with what you have and make it do. Just get it going. Had we sat back and waited to get all the elements in place, to have the right equipment, the right people, the right amount of money, the right amount of intelligence,
money,
the right amount of training. Yeah, money. Yeah, somewhere along the line, I had to invest and get some new headphones. I started off with the old ones.
Yes, right? yes, that's right.
So
that's right.
We kept things going, we kept things pushing, and here we are, 11 episodes in. I would like to hold this conversation again when we're talking about celebrating our 100 episode and then 200 episode, and as we keep on counting.
Nice.
100. I see Mark. Mark. when they say 100, the lines went up. He said nice.
Well, Mark, it's about time that we start putting some of that knowledge to use. That's
right.
I know you're an avid reader. You've read a lot of books. I have a lot of books on my shelf, and over the course of our lives, we have taken in some of that knowledge, and it's time to regurgitate it. It's time to put our feelings, shed some of those emotions, and get it out and let the world know what we got going on in our minds. What say you?
You're absolutely right. There's plenty in there, Got 6 decades worth of common sense. Might as well use it now.
Start knocking it and let it fall on the other side. What about you, Sam?
Yeah, we have to leave something for the young people that's coming up, and I love to think futuristically. I love to think 200-300 years from now, people will be looking back at this. We're actually creating the new encyclopedia. You remember when we were younger, the encyclopedia was our computer, and the library was our computer. The generations in the future, they won't have time to pull up a piece of paper. The generations in the future will be looking at somebody's going to archive all the Facebook and the Twitter and the LinkedIn and the IG and all these platforms, and it's actually going to be the encyclopedia for the future. They're going to look back and see, so I like to look at life on that level. I also want to say good night to Lucy O'Brien. Lucy O'Brien has been a strong fan for the last couple of weeks. Good night.
An avid supporter. Yes.
Yeah, man.
Yes.
Very, very strong.
Consistency.
Very, very
Consistency.
Strong. And we also want to big up Miss Sherry-Ann Sylvester. Another strong supporter.
Good night, Sherry-Ann.
Yeah.
Good night.
I can't see her, but I'm gonna wave.
Yeah, give her one good wave.
I'll take a chance and bring in Miss Forrester. How you doing, my dear?
Hi. Good night, everybody.
Good night. Greetings. All right. She has like a glow going on over there, huh?
Yeah, some sort of a halo or something.
And Mr. Mervyn Carter is saying good night.
Good. Oh yes, that name sounds familiar.
Mervyn Carter. Dr. Witty.
Dr. Witty. That is the gentleman. When you asked him some years ago, what did he say? You asked him how he came about the name, and what did he say?
He said to me when he was a little boy, he I don't remember what he said he did. He did something and he was feeling very witty. Shout out to Dr. Witty.
They call it Witty.
Yeah, and we have another person joining the party here, man. So another person ready to join the party.
Oh, you're talking about somebody coming in?
The doctor is here, man.
Who's that? Okay, that is that's Dr. Judith. Dr. Judith.
Okay,
so
how is everybody?
Hi.
Sorry to be late. I didn't have
more
dinner.
light.
We need more light.
I need more light. I don't have any more lights in here.
You better.
We good, man. Though we gonna live, man. We gonna live.
Take it off the ceiling. Take it off the ceiling. Bring it down. Yeah. Back up a little bit.
There you go.
Oh, that good.
Yeah, inside, man. Inside.
Yeah, you're inside there now.
You have a colorism problem. You're trying to tell me I'm too dark?
You the one that always seem to mention that. Okay? You seem to have a hand.
I'm just teasing. Take it easy.
Right now you in a platform with two brown skinned yellow people. And I can understand. Excuse me?
Who are you talking about?
Yeah, that's what I say.
He said brown skin, yellow people.
Well, if you look at me and you look at Sam, you know I ain't talking about me and I ain't talking about Sam.
You're not talking about me either. I don't claim it.
I don't know who we talking about.
And your good friend up there tonight, he yellow and you have on a yellow shirt, so you look extra.
Oh, God, help us,
Father.
God.
I just wanted to be seen, man.
Okay, you want to be seen. He wants to pass.
Oh,
Dr.
I don't know where
Henry,
I'm passing to.
Dr. Henry, on your own, eh? You see, when you're going on you shooting shots, I staying out at that.
You just ducking.
I staying out at it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm glad we have everyone on board. So we are going to keep the thing going.
Yes,
ladies and gentlemen, once again, welcome to another edition of Caribbean Feedback. Caribbean Feedback is a back type conversation where I'm going to hit it raw Trinity talk. A backyard type conversation where we just sit down and talk now. We just all talk and get things where we have on our chest and we get it off. You know, like if we say no under the mango tree, liming in the evening, this is what we do here on Caribbean Feedback. But at times we do try to keep it professional and speak properly and enunciate and pronounce our words. Because some of us did go to school, so we try to behave as such as if we have some education. So
almost like the Queen.
You on your own on that one.
Tell you, not island by yourself.
I'm done with the colonizers. Miss Forrester, tell us who you are and what it is you do.
Good night, everybody. I'm Karen Forrester. I'm with BantuKreations. BantuKreations offers incredibly beautiful African-inspired, handcrafted, one-of-a-kind, very lightweight earrings in beautiful colors and textures. BantuKreations can be found on IG, BantuKreations on IG, and BantuKreations on Facebook. Back to you.
Dr. Judith.
It's looking kind of nice there, man. That lovely stuff there, man. Lovely stuff. You sure you're not doing anything for men? All right, good.
Not yet. No, sir.
All right, sorry.
Dr. Judith, talk to me. Who you is?
You don't do Ebonics, right, Doc? You do, Dr. Judith, you don't do Ebonics, do you?
I do like Jamaican. Good evening, everybody. Jamaican say good evening. My name is Judith Barnes.
That's right.
And I'm a doctor of counseling, Christian counseling. And I am an author, and I'm a mother, and I am an artist, and that's it for tonight. That's enough.
You are you.
And that would be fine arts.
Sorry, Sam said the best thing. I am me. Thank you.
That's right.
Thank you.
Yes, man.
That's it, sir. It's okay if I have my ginger tea while we talk?
Yeah, man. Free up yourself, man. You know?
All of them have a mug or something somewhere.
If that is what you say in the cup, then go ahead.
Mug of something. It's a mug of something. Mug of something.
Mr. Chase, talk to us, sir.
Man.
Mark Chase. Chase Audit Services. If you are looking for an audit, need certification for anything, I am your person. My company is for you.
And the name of that company is?
Chase Audit Services.
And where can we find you?
Can be found on Facebook, on LinkedIn. That's about all right now.
Chase Audit Services. Mr. Samuel Archer, tell the people.
Yes, I am. My name is Samuel Archer. I am the original, the one and only, the real template. Everybody else is just total imitations. I am the real thing. And after me, they broke the mold. Everything just trying to look like I and I, but it's not ready at all. However, as we said before, this is episode 11. And I want to throw in that I'm a new author, the author of The Hybrid Executive. It's like a hotcake thing right now, you know. So those of you who want to get your game up in the music industry and entertainment industry, this is the book for you. One little note, it's kind of sad, but I want to send out condolences to the family of Sprangalang. Those of you who know Sprangalang, we lost Mr. Sprangalang this week, I think. And we just want to send shout out to the TNT family. We lost an icon. We lost an icon. I had the privilege to interview him some years ago, and I was hoping to pull it up before, but I have reason now to like really pull it up so folks could see him in his glory and splendor. In his glory and splendor. Actually, Dr. Henry, that was the same night you and what's it, the other sister from Trinidad, the comedian. You know, we were at the Calypso tent, Labor Day in Brooklyn there. Right. Restoration Plaza. What was the sister name? Rachel Price, and you all had this thing going on back and forth, cracking up, you know, killing the audience. I mean, the audience was dying, rolling people on the floor. He throwing shots at she on the stage, and she just throwing it right back at him, like not even a proper second. You know,
and it was all impromptu, nothing planned.
Impromptu. You had to be there to enjoy that evening. It was amazing. So that's my 2 cents. Back to Dr. Henry over there.
Oh yes, you all getting me kind of jealous with this book thing, you know. So I started writing a book.
That's right.
Because everybody have a book. I started writing a book. I just want to let you all know I have the page numbers done. So, I don't know what the book is about yet, but it's coming.
I hear you, brother.
It's coming. It's coming. Once again, I am Curtis Henry, the producer and host of Caribbean Chat, where we have insightful conversations with Caribbean people of excellence. Caribbean Chat provides a platform where we celebrate the history and culture of Caribbean people in entertainments, the arts, politics, sports, education, and economics. And we explore the many profound contributions they have made to society. So look us up on YouTube at Caribbean Chat. And please, people, I ask you, when you view the videos, I ask of you, make sure you subscribe to the channel. View the video, give us a thumbs up, leave a comment. I don't care what the comment is, good or bad, just leave us a comment. Let us know that you were there, whether you enjoyed it, you didn't like it so much, what we need to improve on. Give us your opinion. Same thing for Caribbean Feedback. Visit the channel Caribbean Feedback on YouTube and hit that subscribe button. Panel, Miss Barnes, Miss Forrester, Mr. Chase, Mr. Archer.
Yes, sir.
We're living in a society today where it may be detrimental for any existing business, upstart or entrepreneur, to survive without the presence of the internet. Whether it's in the form of a website or having a profile on social media, New job titles and positions are opening up every day. When I was a teenager, there was no such thing as an IT tech. But in today's market, it's an essential position to fill at almost every company. Even though most of us use social media as a distraction to pass time, top companies are hiring bloggers, Twitter jockeys as their personal voice to keep their business relevant in today's market, aiming to attract new customers, not just from around the corner, but from around the world. Warren Buffett said that it takes 20 years to build a reputation and 5 minutes to ruin it. If most businesses think of that statement and drill it into their managers and other employees, they will do things differently. Because one thing I don't understand, after putting all of these necessary elements in place to open and run a successful business, I have seen and experienced situations where business owners and employees alike, they lack simple things like courtesy and proper social skills with their customers. It was the Queen of Soul, Aretha Franklin, who best put it when she spelled it out in song. RESPECT. That is all customers are asking for. But the questions remain. Should we have to ask for it? A business owner needs to be aware that the presence of a customer within the establishment is a privilege and not a right. I want the listeners to stay tuned as we discuss customer service and sarcastically ask the question, can I give you a tip? Have any of you ever been treated poorly in your attempt to patronize a business? What do? Do you keep returning to that store or do you boycott? Karen.
Well, I have very little patience with disrespectful behavior when I'm paying for a product. I will verbalize that I feel disrespected to whomever is doing it. And if they're resistant, let's say, or completely ignorant of it, I just simply avoid them. I have no need to, there are competitors all over the place. I have no need to keep patronizing a business, that doesn't respect me or doesn't appreciate me as a client. So I definitely boycott, but I will express myself beforehand.
Does it make a difference to you, Mark, if it's a Caribbean business or an American business or whatever? Do you make any exception to that rule?
I think I have more patience with a Caribbean business than I do with our fair-skinned brethren from America. I would definitely say I have more patience. I have no patience for disrespect from, as I said, our fair-skinned brothers from America. No patience at all. And I don't feel if I had a choice, wouldn't give them my money to begin with. Honest answer to an honest question.
But Judith, respect is respect, right? Regardless of who it's coming from.
I would say that, but I'm more willing to have a conversation with the Caribbean than I am, with Joe Sixpack. I'm much more. I would say to a Caribbean, hold on, man. What is it you're doing? What is it you're doing? And tell them what they're doing wrong. If I walk into an American business and there's disrespect, I say, well, you don't need or want my money. I'll see you later. And that's the end of it. There's no conversation at all.
Judith, you heard what Mark said. He put preference from one over the other, but isn't respect regardless of who it's supposed to be coming from?
I agree with you. I think that everybody should give everybody respect. It doesn't matter where your culture, your country, whatever. It doesn't really matter. But I also understand what Mark said about we tend to be a little more lenient with our own. I don't like it because I think it sets a bad precedent. But I believe my personal view on public, getting stuff, buying stuff in a store or whatever, is that I will tell people what I think. I have to leave something with them. I can't just leave and not say something, because my feeling is that I encourage bad behavior. So with our people, I tend to be kind of make it a little bit more humorous, because I don't know who might have a chop last and come after me. I don't know what you know, but I will tell equally. It doesn't matter what culture or color. I will say, listen, and I will also. I have a habit. I go back, especially white people. I go back again, because I have to admit it. I kind of like to razz them a little bit. I'll go back again, and the way I behave with them, in a way that after a while, I'm swear afterwards, like, my God, I thought she keep coming back. What is wrong? But end up being friendly. And I'm not looking for friendship. Sometimes I was looking for people to think. Because sometimes people are not thinking. Sometimes it's not a race issue. It is just people are caught up in their own stuff. They're busy and they're rushing, and and also they're used to what they're doing. And sometimes in life, I believe that we are supposed to be difference makers. And we're supposed to not demand respect, but we're supposed to let people know what you're dishing out is not acceptable. And I'm not going to run away and disappear. I'm going to come back again next week. So you're going to have to deal with me. So that's kind of how I deal with it.
But Sam, Judith said, I know you heard her, but she said people are used to what they're doing. But isn't it more of they're used to us accepting the crap? Why they keep doing it?
That too.
Yeah, I think everyone tries to test everyone, just like a child tests the parent, students test the teachers. People want to know how far they could go. So if you do certain things to someone or to a sect of people, and you keep getting away with it, then it becomes the norm. I think just not to go too far off, but if we treat police brutality, retaliate a certain way, initially some of us might go to jail, but after a while, the police department will get the message, because they say, well, we can't arrest everybody because everybody gonna be in jail. So at some point they're going to realize that we need to stop this foolishness, because they're responding differently. But if you just keep getting shot and you want to pray and march and wave a flag and go down by the White House and march and sing kumbaya, then they'll keep rocking that way. But I don't know if I think I just treat everyone across the board. I'll give chances. I'm a person, I'm patient with, regardless of what establishment it might be. So I'm a person, I would probably give some extra chances, because, maybe I'm talking funny, maybe they're not getting it initially, but there'll be a certain point where our eyes will meet, where we both understand that this person is really being disrespectful. And regardless if it's one of our brothers and sisters with an establishment, or if it's an American establishment, or someone else, I may not make a hoopla about it, but there's a really good chance that might be the last time I go to that establishment.
Exactly.
If it's really a telling type thing, then I'll just hold my money and keep it moving. Go where it's appreciated. But then when you think about business, I mean, is business really about respect? When you really when you understand business, does the element of respect really matter? It's about, I have
Yes,
this.
Well, yes, if you have to respect me if you want my money. You have to respect me if you expect to get my money. You made an important point just now when you talk about look you in your eye. Judith, how important is eye contact for you when making purchases?
Let me tell you, I was walking into the school the other morning, and this is not about customer service in its natural sense, but it hit me. I was walking in the door, and students, one of the teenagers, she held the door for me. But that little girl turned. She didn't just hold the door. She held the door and she stared me dead in the eyes. I mean, I've never experienced anything like that before. She looked me straight in the eye and she did not waver. And I thought to myself, wow, first of all, it's unusual for someone that young. And then I thought, what does she want? And what I felt she wanted was just to hear thank you. Because a lot of people hold doors and nobody said, they just take it as, you're supposed to hold the door for me. And I looked her back in the eyes just as steadily and I said, thank you so much. You have a great day. And so my thing is, I'm big on eye contact. People are a lot of people are out here playing. So they really don't want to look at you, look in the eyes. People like that's why people like texting and all that stuff, because they really don't want to communicate with each other. But it's important to look people in the eyes. It is for me to look people in the eyes too. Because looking at somebody in the eyes is saying, I see you. I acknowledge your presence. You might even be saying, I like you. I appreciate you, whatever it might be. But the eyes, what I said, the eyes of the soul, the eyes are powerful. The eyes tell a lot. But it is also good in terms of communication. Sometimes you don't have to say a word. You just have to look at somebody. So and what Sam said before. Oh, before I forget, Mr. Mark, we missed you. I missed you last week. I don't know where you were, but you didn't hear me. Did you hear what I said?
I heard what you said.
Okay, all right.
He didn't get enough coffee last week.
She's the one you want. Go ahead.
Anyway, go ahead. So what I feel like what Sam said earlier, respect is important anywhere, whether you're exchanging money or whatever it is. We are supposed to have a basic respect for people. And it's about, you don't have to shake hands. Sometimes you just have to bow your head and acknowledge a person. It makes a big difference. And one of the things that they're talking a lot about now is how there's so many people who are depressed and unhappy with this COVID and other things going on. People wearing a mask now. Some people get to hide because some people like to hide anyway. Some people really get to hide now by wearing a mask. But what I notice is that I continue to look at people the same way I did when they didn't have a mask on. So I'm meeting eyes. And I see this, even at school, these young kids look at me and I see their eyes smiling. Very powerful. And so respect, like I said before, respect is also, it doesn't matter what the transaction is. If it's 5 minutes, if it's 2 seconds that you're having a transaction with somebody, respect can simply mean that you just acknowledge somebody's presence, you're aware that they're there. That's it.
So, Karen, I've heard you mention this before. Tell me about what you feel about attentiveness when somebody tending to you in a store. You know how some people have the habit of, on the phone. Give me your 2 cents on that.
All I need is for you to acknowledge my presence when I enter your store. At the very least, say I'll be with you shortly. It's not much. I don't think that's asking too much. Acknowledge me. I'll be with you in just a moment. You don't just stay on the phone if I enter and you're on the phone or you're talking to a coworker and you completely disregard my presence. That's a problem, especially for the smaller stores. You need the community to support you. You can't afford to be snobbish and distant to your customers. So I think that you need to be attentive to your customer when the person walks in. A simple greeting. Is there anything else? Is there anything I can help you with right now? If not, let me know. Let me know when you need me. That's it. Yeah, it's extremely important to me, and I'm also very vocal about that.
Is this warm and friendly welcome, that's important to you, Mark?
Warm and friendly, no, not necessarily. Acknowledgement, yes, and I'm going to give you an example of that. About 5 years ago, I went and bought myself an $85,000 car. I ordered the car. It was ready. I'm not going to say the dealership because it's all around me. And I went to pick it up. I had the paperwork in my hand. I just needed a signature and give me the keys. People walked by me back and forth like I wasn't even there, speaking in Spanish as if I couldn't understand them. Or he must be waiting for the bus, enjoying the air conditioner.
Oh, gosh.
So on and so forth. And I just sat there on the couch. And finally, I saw the woman that I wanted. I called, ven pa acá. Oye, ven pa, come here. Come here. Here's the damn paper. Give me my check back. I don't want the car. I've been sitting here for 45 minutes. You're walking by me. You don't recognize me because you hadn't seen me. My skin black and you're going to walk by me. Oh, Mr. Chase. Not done. Done. Sale done. Sale canceled. Sale canceled. I went up and bought the car in Broward. Sale was canceled. Acknowledge me. I don't care if I have on dirty shorts, no shirt. Acknowledge me. That I agree with. It doesn't have to be warm and fuzzy and friendly.
Not a requirement.
But acknowledge my presence.
If you have no shirt and you're buying an $85,000 car, they might call the cops, you know.
Where is it?
No shirt and you're buying an $85,000 car, that's reason enough to call the police.
You know what? At least I would have been acknowledged at that point.
For sure.
A couple of rappers went into the bank. One guy went into the bank, he put out about, I don't know, maybe $200,000-$300,000. By the time he ended up outside, police on his tail, yes. Bank calling like, who is this little fellow with a cap and a jeans pulling out $200,000? Man, I just show them, look, I'm a producer. I produce hip hop and so on. I have stuff to do today. They was trying to tie him up, but you know, there's a real situation out here, man.
Mm-hmm.
When I first moved to Georgia in 2006, I had said to my son, maybe I'll buy a Mercedes. I like certain, and I had the color in mind and everything. But I like cars that run. I like cars that are reliable and they will last. So, and I don't like cars with a lot of high, what do you call it, in terms of fixing. It's going to cost a lot to fix and all that. I don't really go for that. But I had the money. I had the cash that I could buy. I just sold my house in Florida, made a great deal, and I bought a house here. So I go into this car place in, where is it? Well, you wouldn't know anyway. It's here in Georgia. But anyway, I go in there. A black guy is in charge. He's the only person in there. And I had on jeans. I was casually dressed. And Tyron, my son, was with me. And I said to him, I said, I'd like to look at the Mercedes. And it was a color. It was like a powder blue. Beautiful, beautiful color. And so I said I wanted to look at the car. So he said, that man looked so, I was driving a Toyota Corolla, a 1995 Toyota Corolla. That's what I drove up in. So he looked at that. See, I don't have a problem with shame. I'm a practical person. My car was, the Toyota was paid for 18 months after I bought it. So, you know, I like to be wise. So he says to me, have you ever bought a car of this standard before? I looked at him, I said, excuse me? And I guarantee if I was white, he wouldn't ask me that. Black guy. So I said to him, I said, listen, would you like to take a copy of my license, please? I would like to test drive the car. I mean, I could have bought the car cash right there, but that's not the point. So I took the car and I took it. I drove it out. Listen, I gave him a copy of my license. I thought he was going to call the cops on me. I was going a long time. I drove to my house. I drove up the driveway. I said, you know, the car should get used to this driveway. Let me drive up into the garage. I took it by a friend's house. I said, I'm considering buying this car. What do you think? So I had me a good time. I took it back to him. I took it back. I decided that wasn't, you know, some years later, Tyron said to me, Mom, why didn't you buy the Mercedes? I said, because I'm a very practical person. My attitude is that if I bought it, it would have been okay, but I don't want to be okay. I want to be better than that. I said, and every time you got hungry, I would tell you, go look in the garage. That's where the food money is. So I didn't get it. But the guy was so annoyed at me. The black guy was so annoyed at me. And when I got back, I said, may I have my license, please? Thank you. And I got in my Toyota Corolla, my Mercedes Toyota Corolla, got the heck out of there. But the things that I had to show him, I could have bought it, but do not. One of the things that I despise about human beings is to underestimate me. Don't underestimate me. And what you do when you underestimate me, you push me anyway. So he underestimated me, but it was okay with me. So I end up with a Honda Accord years later, a brand new one that is beautiful and it runs well. So, you know, but attitude, perception, you know, people's perception of you, what you can afford and what you can't afford, where they think you come for whatever. All of that drives business. And what I like is the guy or the woman who goes in and nobody expects much of them. And they do, like Mark said, an $85,000 car or whatever. And then they're trying to be extra nice to you. No, go away. I don't want the niceness from you. Leave me alone.
Sam, you think, what about people who they don't really listen? Merchants, they don't really listen carefully to the consumer, to the customer's needs, what it is you're asking them for. Is this something that gets to you, or that's just me?
Well, it depends, because I may put myself in a position where I may have to repeat again so they could catch on. Because sometimes the look, when they look at you, or if you looked upon as well, he really, he don't have this money to buy this, or why is he in the store? They don't really listen now, because they're psychologically they're looking at how they're sort of discriminatory at that point, so they're not really listening. Well, this might not be a good example, but I remember one time in Brooklyn, I was vending on Church Avenue. I'm selling my CDs, and I had some stuff. So I had a nice big Cooper bag, those big Cooper bags, and I'm on Church Avenue, and I have CDs in my hand, and I'm walking, from let's say from Utica or Schenectady, and I'm going towards.
That's how we did it. Utica to Flatbush.
Flatbush, and so there was a Caribbean food joint. Well, they closed now. It used to be called Foods R Us. So I
on
stopped
34th somewhere.
I wasn't going in to sell anything. I was going in to buy some food. But of course, I have the bag on my shoulder. I have and was it cold yet? I don't remember if it was cold. But your hand kind of frozen because you're holding the stuff a certain way, and you're walking with it.
Ashy.
You know that kind of way, right? So as I come into the restaurant, I get all this no selling in here, no nothing, blah, blah, blah. And I said no.
They put you out before you came in.
So I put on my bag now, and I go in the line, and I order in food, so they kind of realize, oh, he came in to get some food. So when I go by the cashier now, because I was a customer at the time. I wasn't the first time I bought food from there, and every time I buy food, it's probably $30-$40. His bus up shot, his curry, is this, that.
Mine's the family.
Aloe pie and pylori and all kind of thing you're getting. So when I get to the cash register, I say, so I wasn't really coming in to sell, but that kind of energy you all had there. I say, I'm a customer that normally come here. How you think I go come here tomorrow or next week, or what you think gonna be happening to me right now? Because I came into your establishment, you didn't even listen or try to inquire or see, well, do I know this customer, or do I know this person coming in the door? Mm-hmm. You just blazed me with everything, and no solicitation. It is like a whole thing, and I was like, look, I came in to get some food, But it's just that the energy. So the respecting and all of this, the customer service too, is about the energy that they're putting into the whatever it is you come to get. Is it a good energy? Is it a energy that you could do without? What kind of energy you're putting into the service that you're giving to the customer?
Sam,
that is a whole big situation that matters as well.
Sam, did you complete the transaction?
Yeah, I bought the food to make a point.
I would have pulled out whatever it was, a 50 or 100. Put it almost close to the person, Sam. They say, you know what? I changed my mind. I bounce. Swear to you. So my temperament state. You got nerve.
I had a situation a few months ago. Now, the two Jamaican women underneath here, you can tell me. What is the concept as Jamaican, the concept of patty and cocoa bread? No, I mean,
I don't like the idea.
No,
I don't like patty and cocoa bread together. So
no, but that's what it is, right? It's patty and cocoa bread.
Yeah,
you don't buy the bread and then buy the patty. You put the patty inside the cocoa bread and you eat it. I went into this bakery close to me here, and this was at the point in time a couple of years ago when I damaged both of my wrists. So both wrists are bandaged up. I can hardly use my hands; they're still shaking. And I asked the lady, "Could you kindly put the patty in the cocoa bread for me?" She looked me from head to foot, put the patty next to the cocoa bread, fold the bag, and rest it on the counter and walk away for the other woman to cash it. I said, "Wait, hold on. Is that too much to ask?" Now the cashier turned to me and said, "Well, who do you think you are? You think you're special?" I said, "What? Who do I think I am?" I said, "I'm the person that pay your salary. I'm the person that keeps this building over your head. I am your boss. I am the customer, the lifeblood of this business. Without me, you don't have a job. That's who I am. I'm asking you to put, it takes you about 10 seconds to open the bread and just put the patty inside." She said, "You could do that when you go outside." I said, "So now I'm supposed to go stand up on the street corner and fix a sandwich when I came out to the restaurant, so to speak, that served it to me. I have to go and stand up on the sidewalk with two bad hands and try to put this patty inside of the bread, and next thing it fall. I can't come back in the store and say, 'I dropped my patty.' You're going to tell me about the next one." Right? I asked for a simple service and the woman told me,
"I dropped my patty."
Is that patty a drop?
Who do I think I am? So you know what I did? I said, "Well, here what?" This time she had already cashed for it. I said, "Listen, I didn't even touch your merchandise." I said, "Take that back. Give me back my money." I said, "And from today, I will never set foot inside of this store again. And I will also encourage my friends and family to do the same." Now, at that point in time, I was eating a patty and cocoa bread a day. Every day. Now, with something to drink, that come up to a little over $5 every day. It's been over 2 years. Do the math. Do the math. And somehow they think that my one patty and cocoa bread was unimportant to them. And like I said in the beginning, it may take years to build a good reputation or to get a good customer, and you could lose them in minutes. So as business people out there, we have to be more careful of how we treat people, how we treat customers, because they're the lifeblood of your business. Without us, without customers, I don't know, businesses will not remain open. But Karen, you ever experience people rushing you? Rushing you so that they could go back to work. But yes, taking care of you is working.
It's not very easy for people to rush me because I don't have a tolerance for that. I can't say that that's my particular experience. People walking away, attempting not to deal with a problem that they know that I have is something that I've dealt with. But rushing, not so much. Not so much. You know, maybe they recognize me from a previous sale and I'm back to complain about something, and they try to avoid. But they don't rush me because I don't allow them to rush me.
I've had situations like that where the woman said, "Well, I have to go back to work." I said, "Well, what are you doing here? This is working. You're tending to a customer, and right now I need your assistance." And she's too busy to take care of me because she has to go back to work. And she don't consider serving me and completing the transaction and getting my money as work. You know, somehow I just supposed to go in there, spend the money without any good service, and leave. And I told her, "Well, since you're too busy, I'm gonna leave." You know, and I walked out. Half of what you all said there about this particular shade of person and who you will give a chance. I am a no-nonsense type of guy when it comes to my dollars. Brethren, I work hard. I work hard all my life. Since I'm 14 years old, I'm working. For every piece of clothes on my back, every bit of food that I eat, I work. And you are not going to disrespect me when I come to spend my dollars in the establishment at all. I have this much patience, this much tolerance for that type of behavior. I don't even give second chances. You disrespect me one time, I go on. I done. Really? Yeah.
May I say something? What you said about the person with the patty and the cocoa bread and ask them to put it in there. One of the problems with that is, again, us. To go into a store, a Jamaican, so I'm going to say Jamaican. Jamaicans don't like when I say these things. What is the truth?
It was a Jamaican.
There's no welcome. They look at you and some of them cut their eye like, what are you doing in here? It's like you're disturbing them. My son was talking
doing
about
you a favor. Like they're doing you a favor,
yeah,
serving you some food.
My son was talking about it the other day. Terrence said, Mom, they look at you like, what you bothering me for? It's like you're taking up the time, like you said, take up the time. But I believe, and this is something that we have to stop it, because I promise you, a white man walks in there, it will be a different attitude.
They kowtow.
They will cater to them. They will kowtow. They will. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And
how can I help you? Do you need anything else?
But I am very thirsty.
Are you good?
I'll say to him, I said, why you never talk to me the way you talk to the white man? I'll say that. But you have to call them out. You have to call them out. Because the truth of the matter is that you have the same money. And I keep saying to us, we will pass our Jamaican store and go to the Chinaman store anyway, and they will complain the Chinaman won't shake our hand. Chinaman culture is not to shake the man in the hand. Chinaman culture is to put the money on the counter, I take it off, I put it in the counter. That's it. Then I go, and you don't need them to say hello and how are you. It's a nice thing to do. I believe in it. But we as a people have a problem. You go into the store and they would not acknowledge that you could walk around for hours. That's one store that you don't have to worry about and call the police and say them think you go hold them up. You could walk around all day and I don't say a word to you. But it's a cultural and it's a race issue amongst ourselves where we just don't have any regard for people who look like us. It's crazy. And sometimes I don't want to buy stuff from them because they have a stinky attitude.
A lot of these companies.
I would agree with you. And I think sometimes it's knowledge of the person, which doesn't make any sense. If you've got a business open, you're trying to attract all the customers you can.
Right.
Not some.
Right.
There's a very nice bakery that's, I know Karen knows of it. It's a guy in East Bakery. On Sunday, I would get dal from them because I didn't feel like making it myself. I could send my daughter, I get a dozen dal, come back with 16. Always nice, always together, nice. I send my other daughter, they didn't know. She came back with 11. It wasn't dal. I pick it up, man, it just fall apart just in your hand. I had to go back to them and say, look, this is what you get. Oh, we didn't know that was your daughter. Oh, you gonna fix it? They'll fix it for me. But they shouldn't have done it in the first place.
No.
They shouldn't have done it in the first place. And it's knowledge. Some places they see you come in every day, treat you very nice. They see somebody new come in, instead of treating them like an opportunity, a new customer. Well, I don't know. They're probably not going to be back anyway. So let me get all I can get out of them for the least I can do for them.
Let me share this with you real quickly. There was a man here in Georgia, Jamaican, came from Brooklyn. He and his wife. The wife sent him ahead, and he opened the store in one of the main areas here in a place called Snellville. And I went in there because I like to patronize our people. So I go in there. And I make a wicked bread pudding. So he ended up selling a bread pudding there for me for a while. I would take my bread and he would sell it for me. This guy had no customer service. He was rude. He was feisty. He cussed out the customers. Now with him, it didn't matter white, Jamaican, cussed everybody. And I go in there and I said to him, what is wrong with you? Why are you doing this? I said, no. You can't work this way. So one day, he knew I was a therapist. He called me one day. He said, Miss Judy, could you come and counsel me, please? I don't have no business. I said, you have to stop mistreating people. And he paid me, and I talked with him for a while. But that man was one of the most, and these are things that we don't have to, but we should consider. You're going into an establishment, especially if it's self-owned. People are miserable, they are unhappy, they're going through problems, they have to pay the rent for the building, and we don't know the stuff that they have in their head. And this man's wife was still in Brooklyn. I don't know if he was worried about his wife being there and she would come some weekends and whatever. And that man behaved so badly, it got to the point where he got sick. And obviously he was internalizing a lot of the stuff. You know, that fool ended up killing himself with cancer, because he killed himself with cancer. I mean, his anger and his rage and everything. And I said to him, I said, why are you so blasted stupid? But the thing is that what we don't understand is not enough to have the money to open a business. We have to get training. We need to get training, because people do not automatically have good customer service skills. So it would behoove our community. And I'm sorry, I also believe this. There are a lot of local stores they have in whether it's in Brooklyn, Mount Vernon, here in Florida. If they were to get together and open a mall, this is my twisted view of life. Open a mall, make it nice, instead of one little store juke up right this and another one juke up over this. Make it professional, make it nice. But we are not cohesive enough. But we have to be more professional. We have to look at each other and say, even if you say, well, man, they don't speak to you. So I mean, that's the issue.
But they also, you say they have no customer service, but I promise you, the first year of service, especially with the restaurants down here, like, I don't know what the percentage is, but it's huge. Like over 90% of the Black-owned businesses of Caribbean descent people are, they're Black-owned. They know what to do for the first year. After they develop a customer base, God, everything falls to the fray. They don't care after the first year, but the first year, and I have studied enough of the local businesses to see that happen consistently. They know how to approach clients. They know how to receive you. They offer you a little extra this on the side. Sometimes, you know, you don't need extras. I'll pay for it. But that's not the point. The point is that they know how to deal with you in the beginning. And once they develop any type of customer base, they drop everything, allow everything to go to the wayside, and then become a bit argumentative if you ask them for a little this, a little that, a little that. You know, can I get some condiments on what in the world? They have attitudes after that year because they think they're set. And that's the problem with a lot of Caribbean businesses.
But first of all, I want to know what condiments is.
I didn't say condoms, you know. I didn't say condoms.
No, I heard you say no. They know what condiments. It's condiments the problem.
And the pepper sauce and sauce and thing. We want to encourage the folks in the chat. Why they stop chatting? They just like either they're mesmerized by the conversation or they fall asleep and doing something else. So we need the folks to, say something in the chat. Jump, let us know what's going on. What situation you had. So I want to just extend something good from my end. I have a company called samsdigital.net. I do websites and things of that nature. One of the things I do for my customers is, for example...
Am I the only one hearing Sam in slow motion?
I'm in slow motion?
I think he's slow on purpose.
You're not hearing me good?
Mic goes down
I'm hearing
low.
Well, maybe
I don't know if you're coming across on that everybody the same way.
I'm hearing you guys good. I'm sounding kind of crazy.
Yeah.
I thought he was just being very deliberate.
Oh, I'm sorry, guys. I don't know. That was a glitch. Did you all hear? Did you all hear the? You
The
messing with
sad part, Judith said she thought you was talking like that for on purpose.
I
we good
did.
now? Is the reception is good now?
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
reception
Yeah.
is good. And no more slow
Better.
motion. All right. So one of the things I do for my customers is after they pay for the website, once we do we go back and forth, they're happy with the website. And not just the website, but this particular thing I do is that I tell my customers there's a 2-week window after you pay me that if there's any minor issues, you can, I can make those adjustments with no additional cost or anything. So a lot of my customers like that. Now, a lot of my competitors, they don't do things like that. They just, they want to get paid. This is your website. This is your information. Thank you. See you. Bye. Um, One of the things in business is if folks aren't coming back to you, you're not really making money. Yes, you make that first money, but returning customers is what really helps your business. So you have to
Maintain.
find ways to make customers interested. That they like to come back. So sometimes my price may not be the price they're looking for, but because um, my hands-on approach on certain things or certain services I would do here, folks like that service. They like that extra. If you go the extra mile, you care about what it is they're looking for. And even if you might be frustrated, if you can put the frustration aside and actually give a listening ear, look at what the customer is what they're uneasy about. Customers appreciate that. you know so that is a good, that's a good thing that I think we can take away in terms of, if you do something, do a little bit more than what the figure is about. um and then sometimes the 2-week window might pass and I might, they say, hey, such and such happened, I'll just go in and do it. I say, you're good, man, you're straight. And so those customers would refer. They say, hey, this guy, and then so I get referrals coming from different places. And just because of the approach of providing um, providing that service. Where's
Can
the
I ask a question?
but yes, go, my dear.
Sorry. No, what I wanted to ask you, in addition to what you said, you're talking about from the perspective of a business owner. But do you think, and it just came to mind, do you think that we as customers can have a different approach to businesses that would make them more interested in treating us nicer or being more attentive or going the extra mile? Because I play a part. I'm very serious about that. Rather than go through the drive-through, I go inside the bank. I like to talk to people. I like to meet people. And a teller asked me one day, she said, you could have gone through the drive. I said, no. I know I could go through the drive-through, but I want to come in and talk with you. And I was being genuine. Sometimes I said I said, listen, I said, this girl, what do you like, patty? And she said, yes. I went down the street and bought her a patty. But that's me. I am very big on treating people that kind of way. Whether it's in a business, I don't have to know them, but that's my individual behavior. So I'm wondering if maybe we as customers take something in there sometimes, just asking a question, that maybe we can modify or we can look at.
I think we
That's,
do. I think folks sometimes want to come and mess with the person inside the store. They just want to, they having a funky day and, let me go mess with this person over here or let me mess with that person over there. I've seen people do that,
yeah, yeah.
I've seen, well, not I've seen, I've been involved in situations where you go house hunting and you go to like what you call a development, and you're not in a position to buy any house, but you just want to go and check out
Yeah.
this house and check out that house. And you know the person who by the desk, they're busy putting something together, and you come, hey, I want to go and check out the house there. Okay, and so now they have to come because now they're thinking that you are really serious about checking out the house. They don't know you come to mess with them and just walk around and just see the house. So now they come and bring the keys and they do this and they go through the whole melee and with the customer service, and they want to give you a card and and it's like, yeah. And then after when they leave, they say, why this person all up in the face? Why they couldn't just open the door, let me come in and just see what the place look like? They all up again with card and want to give me a pamphlet and all kind of thing. We want all them things today, man. But of course, you'll say that after they leave.
Let me tell you something. I don't waste people time. And most importantly, I'm not wasting mine.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Straight up. Listen, I just want to do this. I just want to do that. And then all that other set of trimmings, save it. This happened to me last week. I went to the Army Navy store to purchase something. And when I got there, it was very close to closing time. So the woman is telling me, sir, we close in 5 minutes. I said, okay, what I need is right there. She said, no, listen to me. I said, what I need is right there. I can see it. Let me get it. She said, but what I'm telling you, I said, no, what you're telling me is that you're going to talk for 2 minutes out of the 5, and then you're going to tell me we have 3 minutes. I already see what I want. Let me get it. And she said, no, but you're not listening to me. I said, but could you talk while I'm getting the merchandise? Talk while I'm getting the merchandise. Oh, you are so disrespectful. You're not listening to me. You're not allowing me to finish. I said, but you're still talking. Time going. 5 minutes, right? I said, we're down to 3 right now. This is what I was trying to do. You talk for 2 minutes out of the 5, and I'm not in the store yet. Then she was like, okay, and she moved aside. I walked in, I grabbed the merchandise, and there I was. By the time she got around the counter, there I was, handing it to her. And now she has an attitude. I said, this is what I was talking about. I didn't want you to waste the 5 minutes talking. Let me get what I need and get out the store. We already told me 5 minutes. Fine. I'll get it and go out. So I don't want to waste her time with all, and worse yet, waste mine with all the extra.
Maybe she was going to tell you this particular thing you want, you might get some additional things with it. You didn't let the lady finish.
No, they don't do that. I am well familiar with the store. The whole speech was that at 6 o'clock, the register goes off. The register shuts down, so you have to get the merchandise and be back at the register before 6 o'clock. I already knew the speech.
Maybe she had some burrata for you. Maybe she had some burrata for you and miss it.
That's what I need. But you know, going back to the restaurant thing, a lot of people open businesses and they have no right opening businesses.
True, very true.
Somebody told you along the way you can make a good stew chicken. Yeah. Everybody, mommy, daddy, your sisters, all your cousins, everybody love your stew chicken.
Yeah.
So you say, I should open a restaurant. So you go open a restaurant because you could cook stew chicken. But guess what? You can't fry some peas. You can't anything else. So the stew chicken tasting nice. And the rice and peas, the peas don't cook. The chicken don't season right, nothing else in the restaurant tastes good, and you wonder why you shut down in 6 months. You have no business going into business.
Right.
Can I add to that? Can I add to that, Curtis? Like you said, they have no skills, but there are some who don't follow a standardized recipes. They don't follow standardized recipes. There's a big chain in our area. That they're expanding so fast, I expect them to fold in the next 5 years. But they don't, one day to the next, food tastes different. And no matter how you express it to them, they're not changing. 2 chefs doing 2 different things, 2 cooks doing 2 separate things when it comes to the one is on today, and that you're like, wow, this is so good. You go back 2 days later and order the same thing. You're like, oh my goodness, what is this? They're not consistent in how they produce their food, and so it's being received poorly by their clients, you know. And you try to express that, and they get very offended by that, you know. So that is
Maybe
another
they have a
aspect.
different chef too. Sometimes when you have different chefs coming in,
Right.
they
They have two different chefs who cook who are not following standardized recipes. Yeah.
But they don't
And you
have
can't do
standardized
that
recipes.
in a chain of restaurants.
You
You
can't.
can't do that.
You
Everything
guys
should
saw the
stay
episode? You
consistent.
all saw the show Undercover Boss with the
Yeah.
gentleman from
Yeah, I've seen a couple episodes.
what's the restaurant
Seen a few.
again? Golden Cross. You saw
Oh
it?
yeah, we had that down.
I happen to know the young man who was doing the show.
Yeah, unfortunately, I understand he passed on.
Who?
But
The boss, the owner.
the
Oh yeah,
owner,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
the owner.
Yeah.
But I saw his episode, and I think when he went around to the stores, one of the things that he was dismayed with is that they had a set recipe for the items. And when he went around to the different stores, restaurants, sorry, or locations, I should say, everybody was doing their own thing.
Which is ridiculous for a chain.
Yeah, he had to sort of bring that thing back and say, no, we have a special way we do the oxtail. We have a special way we do this. We have a special way we do this. We have a special way to serve this, and so on. I learned a lot from that.
If you're part of a franchise, you will lose your right to that
It
franchise.
has to be consistent. So what you try Golden Cross in New York, and you try Golden Cross in DC, and you try Golden Cross in Florida. It have to say taste very, very close, taste the same. Everything has to be on point.
Oh, that's
a foolish question. What's wrong with if it tastes different?
We've lost audio, Sam.
I don't know if you froze up. I'm not hearing.
Who? I froze up again? Me?
He put up his hands. But
I wasn't hearing, so I'm just making. I don't know if anybody's waiting for me to say something, and I'm just sitting here. So I just let you know that I wasn't hearing clearly.
I asked the question: what's wrong if it's different from restaurant to restaurant?
It
if
has
you're
to
part
be
of a
consistent.
chain, you have a contractual obligation to maintain flavor of certain of your food items. Someone, as someone's mentioned just a few minutes ago, you can literally, there's a chain, I don't want to call out their name, but it's a positive thing, where they serve sort of Mexican food. I don't care if you go in Broward, you go in Miami, Palm Beach. I assure you, you step in there and the flavor of each item is consistent. You must have that. You must have that consistency, or else you lose credibility as a chain. If it's one little mom and pop store, you get what you get. But a chain of stores or a franchise has to maintain certain standards in their recipes.
Make life boring. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Yeah, Karen. Cheryl Hope says, "Hi guys, that's so true, Karen. I bought a roti once, and the potatoes were cut up big as my head." You know Cheryl Hope?
What?
Do you know Cheryl?
I missed part of that.
The situation with that is that a lot of people, other islanders, we try to cook each other's food. As I was saying, what we try to do, some of the restaurants try to cook food from the other islands, and we don't exactly know how they do it. You see some people, they're selling roti, and the roti come out thick like bake. It can't even fold the way it's supposed to fold.
We lost Dr. Henry. His reception.
We were talking about dealing with each other in business. I had a very interesting customer come to me, and he wanted a certification in order to get a loan to build a home. He was very professional. He brought he owned a business, brought all of his financials, They were all in order. So I said, oh, this is fantastic. All right, it's going to take me about 6 days or to be able to write this up for you, and you can walk right into the bank. What he neglected to mention, as I was going through it, every I was dotted, every T was crossed, that it was in Guyanese dollars, in US dollars.
Oh,
So here the guy comes back. I said, I took care of this for you, but I can't certify, I can't sign off on this for you to take this. Why the ass not? He, one eye went to the back of his head, you know. He said, I got plenty of money there. I got $15 million. I said, yeah, that's Guyanese dollar, man. You got $2.80. Where you gonna take this to the United States Bank? This man was so mad, cussed me up and down. And then he, I felt bad because I say now he gotta pay his bill. Because I just did all his work. The bill was almost as much as he had in the bank.
Lord have mercy.
I just told him, I said, look, man, this is a freebie. You just go on and
You need a whole suitcase just to carry
that's what.
Hopefully,
But is it true? Is it true, Mark, that they no longer use coins in Guyana?
I wouldn't say that's true. It depends where you are. Most people, you have no use for them. You have no use for them. Where you gonna buy? You buy a coconut water, and it would take you a jar full of coins to buy.
Wow.
I don't know of anyone that uses them. And you have all of these smart guys who they come to me, they buried money in the backyard, they got $35-40 million buried in the backyard, they want to buy some land in Canada. And I hate to tell them, I know you think you got some money, man, but you got about $15,000. Where you time? And they get very, very upset. That's the other side of
just to chime in with you, Mark. There's a lot of times I had to just, like, if I did a job and based on the client it was, and they didn't really understand the ramifications of everything, I just say, you know what? Hold it down, handle your business.
Blessings.
Don't worry about me. I good. You fix that, handle the situation. If you have any questions, call me, but don't worry about, don't pay me. We good. Fix it. I did a lot of that. Sometimes I had a client one time, I did a website for them, and I said to them, because when you do websites, you have to do your verbiage. I say, I can't do your verbiage for you. Find someone you trust, go through the content, make sure it's grammatically correct. And because I don't have time to sit there after I design your site to sit and read everything to make sure that the grammar is good and the spelling is good. I mean, I'll do a light thing, but so if there's like a word off here or there, yes, I'll fix it. But I can't sit there for half an hour just reading your content to see if it's fine. And no matter how much I told this to the client, I sent you this thing and why, and I said, well, that's what I mean. You need to work your content, but somehow it just wasn't registering that she needed to work with someone else. So after they pester me, I say, you know what? Okay, give me the information. let me put it together for you. It's all right. No problem. I'll fix it for you.
And by the time you look at the exchange rate, it's not even worth it for the amount of time you put into the project.
These are the things that business owners we have to deal with. And entrepreneurs, we have to deal with we have the folks that appreciate what we do, they understand the work that goes into it. And we have those that just don't have a clue. You know, like the guy I told you all some weeks ago, he wanted me to drive up to Canada and perform sing in the park. And I'm telling him, well, the airfare, gas, airfare, room and board and food. And then he said, well, we're not picking up money at the event. I said, you know where I live in? I'm in Delaware. You're in Canada. How am I getting there to sing at your event on Sunday? You know, I didn't think about that. They're just so excited about gospel according to Sam. They want me to come up to Canada. I said, no, that's not how this thing works. You have to prepare, you know. But we just have customers
Sometimes
like
you have
that.
to deal
They
with
just don't get it.
Sometimes you have to deal with that. I had a next guy that this was a very, again, these are very smart business people. This guy was in Canada and he was making money hand over fist in Canada. And what he would do was wait for the exchange rate in Guyana to get low, buy up Guyanese dollars, and then wait for it to come back and then transfer it back to Canada.
Aye.
All right. So he's giving me his books again because he wants to buy property in Florida, certify. And I see all this capital reduction, where he's just moving money. And I had to tell a guy, I can't do it. You're going to have to stop this for a period of time because it looks like you're laundering money.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not laundering anything. I look Chinese to you. Blow up and angry. And, you know, my daughter heard all the yelling. I thought the man was going to pull a cutlass. You know, he was on the phone, dear. He's on the phone. I wasn't saying to him that he was laundering money. It appears he's doing what they call night trading. And he's just playing the market. But when a bank looks at that, it looks like, well, why you keep?
It's a red flag for them.
Yeah, it's a constant red flag. He was making good money. Why you say I laundering? Wait, I ain't no drug dealer. You know, I know. I'm not from the bush, you know, and all this.
Well, gentlemen, ladies, I know that each and every one of us here at some point in time have owned our own business or probably do own our own business at this particular time. As we close out, one of the things I don't like is where we just get together, not us, but where people just get together and whine and spotlight the problems. But one of the things I do insist is that we offer some solutions. So in our parting words, could you please give some sound advice to business people out there as to how they should conduct themselves from your point of view so that you can help stop this foolishness and keep our dollars within the community? How could we help each other out? How could we help these business owners to better conduct themselves, to keep us all together as a family? Karen, take it away.
I'm a firm believer in supporting Black businesses, but if I come into your place of business and you don't know how to treat me, I will, as I said, I will let you know. If you treat someone the way you would like to be treated, if you just start on that premise, I think it would be just fine. Greet me properly, ask me what I need, you know, anticipating some of the things that I may not be aware of. You know, it depends on the service you're providing. Great. Treat people the way you would like to be treated. I think that will work under all circumstances.
Dr. Barnes, give them some advice.
I will echo what Karen just said. Basically, it's about respect and it's about treating people the way you want to be treated. You know, you give what you want to get. And but I also believe, because I've done it, like with that guy I told you about earlier. I also believe, because I've done training with businesses in Georgia, I believe in offering services. And sometimes I'll say, you don't have to pay me. You don't have to pay me. I just want to help you to get this together. So I will offer to go in and do a training session, especially when I train people how to answer the phone. You know, how to say, hello, this is the Barnes, whatever. Just to say hello. And when I go in, like today I was in the bank and this lady called me from a refinance place and I was talking to her and I was getting closer to get to the teller. And I said to her, I said, ma'am, let me call you back because I'm about to get to the teller. I think it's disrespectful to be on the phone talking to somebody while you're transacting business. I should be fully available to the teller and show respect. So I always, if somebody calls me, because I won't make a call right before I go see the teller. So I train people, but I also train people to look at people when they come in, when they walk into a place, to look at them, to identify, say, hey, how are you? I'm very good at customer service. Part of it is because that's my personality. And I happen to like people. I mean, with all the craziness in this world, I genuinely like people. So I will go that extra mile. But I also believe me as a customer, I carry something into the store also. And that's my personality. I greet people. I will go up and I read people's, and this is very effective. I go up and I read their name tag. And not everybody pronounce, some of these fancy names like Curtis talked about some time ago. People have these Shantae and Chantavilla and all these fancy names. So I will say the name and I said, did I say that correctly? The response from those people is awesome because they feel that,
yeah, when you ask, don't assume.
Yeah. And so what happens is that now they're participating with you. They feel valued because a lot of people not getting a lot of money to do these jobs. But I have the ability, and it's just being real. It's not about boasting, it's just real. I have the ability to accord people with that sense of value. So, and I go in stores and I'll go into Walmart. So I'm talking about the other side of the coin now. I'll go into Walmart and there's a young man or a young lady and I need something and I don't see it available. And I said, could you tell me where to find such and such? And one young man said to me one day, no, that's all there is. I said, are you sure? You sure you don't want to check in the back for me? He said, no, ma'am, that's all there is. And another one said something and he just walked away. He said, no, that's it. And he walked away. I said, come here. I said, let me explain this to you. When you're working in a business and somebody asks you for something, the best thing for you to do is say, I don't know, but I'll find out. And so what happens is I do this concerted, it's a concerted effort. I'm very deliberate. And so what I do is I end up writing to Walmart, Belks, wherever. And I will say, I'll get their name. I literally stop and write their names. And I write up a report. I write up something and tell them this young man or this young lady did an exemplary job. Those things make $10 an hour seem a little better. Mm-hmm. So even though I agree we have our rights and we need certain things, I also believe that I should be very careful how I enter a store, how I enter a business. And even if I'm rushing, that's not their problem. That's my problem. So there's another way that I look at it. And what I like about life is that it's good to talk about things, but I like to implement things. And that's one of the reasons I tell people about the Bible. All they can tell you about the Bible, I said, listen, James 1:22 says, let's not just be hearers or readers of the word. Let's be doers of the word. So while we are correcting what we're saying here tonight, I think we have a responsibility also and to make people's lives a little easier. And I believe that. I believe I have a societal responsibility. I believe I have a responsibility to other people. So I give. And I promise you, I can promise everybody, I get a lot in return. And these people even remember you next time. I was in Public supermarket some weeks ago, and this Jamaican woman I went to buy a sub. And I'm standing online with a bunch of other people. But I finally get to the lady, she's a Jamaican lady. She said, she rolled her eyes at me. I said, what's wrong with you? I said, I don't know her. I said, what's wrong with you? I said, why you look so upset? She said, why you stop on the line so long? I said, excuse me? Why stop on the line so long? I said, well, I was waiting to come and order my sandwich. She said, next time you come on the side and just whisper up here and tell me what you want. I said, what? I said, I don't want the people on the line beat me up. They here to me, beat you up. And me there with all them big knife back here. I said, this lady is crazy. But what it did, my being willing to talk to her brought out humor. It was a pleasant exchange. And I have, every time I go to the store, every time I have, let me tell you, even if I'm not feeling my best, I have an exchange with people because I am very aware that a lot of us walk around sometimes burdened. We walk around in misery, some of us, and I believe that I can bring that light touch, and I do. So that's the opposite side of what we're talking about. But I think that the more we do that, customer service will improve, because if they meet one of you or one of me that behaves that way, then you know what? The job don't seem so heavy anymore. So that's my take.
Mr. Chase, give us your parting words of wisdom.
Well, the first thing that comes to mind, the only thing, is professionalism. There is nothing that will get me to walk out of a store faster than a young white man or a young black man when I walk in. What's up, bro? I'm not your brother. I don't know where the hell you are. That's the first thing that's going to vex me right then. Good morning, good afternoon, good night. How are you, sir? Not what's up, bro. Or even, my own people. Hey, big man. Big man. No. That will stop me. Professionalism. Professionalism. I think that's key.
Yes, sir. So I had some research. My thing would be very short and sweet. So Proverbs 22:1 says, a good name is to be chosen rather than great riches, loving favor rather than silver and gold. And it's related to what we're talking about tonight, because we all rather a good name than riches. And if we keep that proverb in mind, it would help us as we deal with customers or as merchants deal with us. So that's probably why I'm a little bit long suffering. But I do have I do have 5 quick pointers here. So if you are a business owner, the 5 pointers here, and I'm not going to go in depth, I'm just going to list them really quick. It says, respond quickly as possible. Respond quickly as possible. 2, know your customers. 3, fix your mistakes. 4, go the extra mile.
Yes.
5, think long term. A customer is for life. And that's my 2 cents.
Great points.
Yes, sir. I learned something called SEC, SEC, like wait a sec. That S stands for smile. There goes that warm and friendly greeting. That E is for eye contact. Please do not speak to me and be looking down here and looking over there and looking over there, and I'm standing in front of you. Maintain eye contact with me, or at least establish eye contact with me when you're speaking to me, especially when you're asking for my dollars. And that C is for comment. Let me know that you understand what I'm saying. If you sit there or stand there and you just look at me with a dumb expression on your face while I'm talking, I have to wonder whether or not you're speaking the same language if you're understanding me. Too many times I've walked into stores and I said, you have that shoes here? Yes. Give me a size 10.5 brown. And the woman go to the store and come back with 6 boxes of shoes. Excuse me? Well, I have it in black, and we have the burgundy. Lady, what did I ask you for? I need these shoes, size 10 and a half in black. Well, I want you to look at the white one. You see, by the time you're doing the box, I got clear, concise communication. We speak the same language. Act like you have some common sense. Do not give me what I don't ask for. I go to the market. I said, give me that fish. By the time you cut it up or you put it on the scale, I see in 2 head. Since when a fish have 2 head? But in order to balance off the weight, you throw another piece on top there and you add another piece. No, I want that fish. How much that fish weight? Charge me for that. Don't throw anything else on top of it to balance off the weight. I walk away. I told you all I have very little tolerance for foolishness. Pay attention to your customers. Make sure that you understand them. Make sure that they understand you. Eye contact. And always, as a merchant, you have to exceed the expectations of a customer. Always exceed the expectations. Have the product available that you advertise. Do not make me travel across town and come to your store. And then you tell me, well, you know, we ran out of that from last week. Well, why is the ad still going? Or your business page online say that you have it. Don't do that. You're wasting my time. And I don't waste my time. You can take my money. Don't take my time. I can make back my money, but I can't get back my time. Value people's time as a merchant. Customers are the lifeblood of your business. Having proper knowledge of your products that you sell. I've seen people, you mean this here? Hold on. You have to go in the back of the store to come back. That is disrespectful. I will not tolerate it. People, once again, it's been a plum pleasing pleasure and a privilege being with you all here this evening. We know we can carry on, but that clock on the wall says it's time for us to get out of here. Thank you all for coming on another edition of Caribbean Feedback. We kind of backyard talk. All right. Blessings. Peace.
Blessings.
Bless.
Peace, peace, peace. Shout out to Mr. Delroy Saudi from Ampsocial. We just want to acknowledge him tonight. Hope he's doing well. Thank the people in the chat room. You all need to be buzzing a little bit more next week. Same time, same place. Hit the like button. If you didn't subscribe yet, subscribe.
And I'll give you all the